Okay, I need everybody to come sit in the community circle. You guys know where to sit. You have assigned seats. Come on, come sit in the community circle. We're going to start our lesson. Okay, now that everybody's in their spot, I'm going to put a word on the board, and I need you to look at the word, and I'm going to give you some time and raise your hand if you know what the word is, okay?
Okay.
And let's wait a little bit so everybody knows what the word is. And raise your hand if you know what the word is. Okay, Estuardo, what's
Helper.
Helper, good job. The word is helper. Can you tell me what a helper is?
A helper is a person that helps people.
Yes, that's what they do. And do you know, can you give me an example of a helper?
A firefighter?
A firefighter. A firefighter is a helper. And what does a firefighter do to help you?
To put out fires?
Yes, he puts out fires, right? Good, thank you. Good job. Good job telling me about the different helpers that there are. Students can be helpers, right? What kind of help can students do?
Be quiet.
Yeah, they can be quiet so the teacher can teach, right? And then can a teacher be a helper?
See.
Yeah, what does a teacher do to help?
Teach.
Yeah, she can teach. Okay, now that we've talked about different kinds of helpers, we're going to get in groups, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You guys are in blue group. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You guys are green group. You 6 are red group. And these 6 over here, you guys are going to be yellow group, okay? Now I'm going to give each group a picture, okay? This is one picture. This is going to be for blue group. This picture is going to be for green group. This picture is going to be for red group. And our last picture is going to be for yellow group, okay?
Okay.
I'm going to give every group a picture, okay? And what you guys are going to do is you're going to talk with your group and you're going to figure out what kind of helper is in the picture, what the helper does, what type of job she has, and where do you see these helpers? Where do you see them? At home, at school, in the community? Where do you see these helpers? So you're going to get to your group and you guys are going to look at the picture. Everybody in your group gets to look at the picture, okay? And everybody in your group is going to think and talk about what they see in the picture, what kind of helper it is, what they do, and where you see the helper, okay? So the first group came up here and told us this helper is a dentist. This dentist helps everybody by helping take care of your teeth, helping them stay clean, make sure you don't have any cavities. And this type of helper you don't see in school or at home. You see them in the community. The second group told us about the fireman. The fireman is a big helper in our community. He puts out fires and helps us keep safe. The third helper had the mailman. The mailman has a very important job too. He works in the community. He delivers letters and important mail to your houses every day. Now it's the yellow team's turn. Come have a seat, Estuardo, if you're going to tell us. Show us your picture. What kind of helper is that?
A police officer.
A police officer? And what does he do?
Get robbers to jail.
Yes, and how does he help you?
By getting you to your parents.
Yeah, when does he get you to the parents?
When you're lost.
Yes, and where do you see this helper? Can somebody, Estuardo, can you tell us, where do you see this helper? Do you see him in school, at home, or in your community?
In my community.
Yes, do you only see one policeman, or is there lots of policemen in our community?
A lot of policemen.
Thank you. Go have a seat again. Okay, so we went over the different kinds of helpers that we had in our pictures. We had a policeman, a mailman, a dentist, and a fireman. And all these helpers, they're not just called helpers. Some people give these types of helpers that help us out in our community a different name. I'm going to show you guys a word, a new word. And you guys tell me what word it is, okay? Thank you for raising your hand, Estardo. Can you tell me what the word is? What's the new word we have up here?
Community.
And if we put community and the word helper together, what word does that give us? What?
Community helper.
Yes, thank you so much. All these helpers that we learned about and that we talked about with our group, they're called community helpers. They're different helpers that live and work around our community, our schools, our home, and they help us, and they have very special jobs that help everybody in our community. Okay, now that we've talked about community helpers and learned and discussed and talked about what community helpers are and what they do, we're going to make an anchor chart. You're going to help Ms. Gonzalez complete the anchor chart, okay? Up here are titles community helper. And a community helper is people in your community that help others. There's different types of people that help others. Ms. Gonzalez has put firefighter, a police officer, a doctor, and a librarian. So what our class is going to do is, for a firefighter, we're going to come up with what a firefighter does, and Ms. Gonzalez is going to write it. Who can tell me what a firefighter does? You're right, Susanna. A firefighter helps put out fires and keeps it safe. So we're going to put puts out fires. Helps keep. So helps keep us safe. So that's what we came up with for firefighter, puts out fires and helps keep us safe. Okay, now the next community helper we're going to do is doctor. Who can tell me what a doctor does, or what is he or she, because doctors can be boys and girls. What do they do to help us? Good job, Johnny. Yes, a doctor. So a doctor gives us medicine, and he or she keeps us healthy. Good job. A doctor gives us medicine and keeps us healthy. Our next community helper is going to be a police officer. Do you guys remember what Estuardo from the yellow group said about a police officer? Estuardo, can you tell us what you said about a police officer again?
It gets bad guys to jail, and gets you to your parents when you walk.
Okay, so it takes bad guys
to jail.
To jail, and they help protect us, right?
Yeah.
And helps
us
protect us. So a police officer takes bad guys to jail and helps protect us. Our last community helper on our anchor chart is a librarian. A librarian we see in our school. She helps us to. What does a librarian help us do? Or how are they a community helper? So what does a librarian do, Jackie? You're right. A librarian reads books to us. So let's write that. Let's write that. Reads books to us. And when we go to the library, what does that librarian help us do? Good job. She helps us, or he, because the librarian can be a boy or a girl. So, helps us check out books. Okay, so we're going to go over our 4 community helpers on our anchor chart again. So, let's begin with what a community helper is again, okay? So, community helper is people in your community that help others. And our first community helper was a firefighter. And a firefighter puts out fires and helps keep us safe. A doctor gives us medicine, keeps us healthy. A policeman, like Eduardo said, takes bad guys to jail and helps protect us. And a librarian, who we find in our schools, reads books to us and helps us check out books. Okay, now that we've heard about 4 other different community helpers, Ms. Gonzalez is going to give you a piece of paper that looks like this to each one of you guys, okay? And you guys are going to get with your group and think about it. But each of you, and think about the community helpers that we talked about. But each of you guys are going to come up with 2 different community helpers. One here and the second one here. Don't use a firefighter. Don't use a police officer, a doctor, or librarian, because we just talked about it. Think about other community helpers that we see in our community, in our home, in our school. All 3 places. Think about it and talk to your group about it, and then draw a picture of it, okay? Okay, now that everybody's had time to do your 2 community helpers, remember we're going to do 1 community helper on this side and another community helper on this side. We're going to come up here and share, okay? The first person that's going to share is Eduardo, because he really wants to share his picture, right?
Yeah.
Okay, come up here and you're going to tell us about your drawing. Come stand up here and show us your drawing. Okay.
This is a chef and this is a teacher.
Okay, so you said a chef is a community helper, right? How does he help us?
To cook food.
Yes, right, he cooks food. And what about a teacher? How does a teacher help us?
It teaches us.
Okay, and where can you see a chef?
In a restaurant.
In a restaurant. So is a restaurant at home, at school, or at a community?
At a community.
And where do you see a teacher?
At school.
At school. Good job, Eduardo. High five. Thank you. Go
You're
have a seat. Okay, so now that we've had somebody share, we're going to go ahead and do the last part of our lesson. The last part of our lesson is called Community Helpers I Have Who Has Game. Okay?